Well, with debate, I look ridiculous. Anyway, what I want to debate about is the new Terminator Genesis movie that I saw a couple weeks ago. That's what I want to have this debate about. This is why this is called the Terminator Debate. And after watching Genesis a couple weeks ago, boy, it's almost like they really know how to ruin a good, perfectly good movie storyline, didn't they? Pops my ass. Oh. Going back to 1984, I thought the first movie was pretty kick-ass when it first came out, you know. The lines in that movie, the scenery, the time frame was perfect, you know, 1984. Kind of thinking about what the world would be in about 30, 40 years from now after a nuclear war. And I was going to say, that was pretty cool how James Cameron had the vision for it. And Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn, he did a great job playing Kyle Reese in that movie. And we know who the Terminator was. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know. That movie had its moments. I love the part where he kills that guy who looked like a lot like that Harvey Keitel, you know, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Copland. He was in a lot of movies, and you can't do that. Wrong. Kills him in that gun place. The best part was the police station. May I see Sarah Connor? I was told that she was here. Can I see her, please? She's making a statement, but if you want, you can wait out there for a minute. Looks around. I'll be back. Next thing you know, he drives the car up through the police station, right through the front door, comes out with those two guns, the 12-gauge autoloader and the Uzi. And then he starts taking out the cops, takes out the power, takes out a few more cops. In the last two he takes out were Paul Winfield, Lieutenant Traxler, and Lance Hendrickson. I can't even think of it. I don't even know if he had a name in the movie, but we know Paul Winfield was Traxler. Lieutenant Traxler. He was pretty cool in that movie, Winfield, and oh man, that movie had its moments. I still remember when it first came out. That was like the coolest movie ever. That's how I became a big Schwartzy fan. Number 2 was cool too. You know, directed by James Cameron. You know, that movie had its moments. It had a cool soundtrack. You could be mine, but you're way out of line. Guns N' Roses, when him and that friend of his are on that dirt bike and he's got that, you know, cassette player holding up in his hand and they're rocking out to Guns N' Roses. You could be mine, but you're way out of line. And then the T-1000 comes up to the arcade and, have you seen this boy? No. Schwarzenegger was pretty cool in that movie too. Some of the lines were pretty funny. Chill out, dickwad. No problemo. You don't say affirmative or some shit like that. No problemo. If you want to shine them out, it's hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista, baby. That movie was cool too. The best part in number 3, I swear to God, the female Terminator, the best part in that movie was when she gets pulled over to get a ticket from the cop and she looks up at the billboard, sees that girl with the big tits, right? So she does something to make her breast look bigger, and that guy comes out of his, you know, patrol car and comes up to her and notices the bigger breast, and he lets her off the hook because of that. That's pretty hot. Otherwise, that movie really didn't have any interesting parts in it at all. What about the Hasta la Vista, baby, and all that? You guys come off an assembly line or something? Yes. That movie was kind of a downfall. But Genesis, now that's where the debate really comes in, because I don't know if this was what James Cameron envisioned when he first made the movie in 85, or 84 rather, because when I was watching the first movie, it was like watching Genesis again. It was like watching the very first movie for the first time, but with a twist, because when Kyle Reese comes to Earth, you know, it's just like in the first movie, and then he goes into that apartment store, and then who does he run into? The T-1000. You didn't see that one coming. And then at the sanatorium, place where they like to view all the planets and stuff, I think it's called like a sanatorium or something. Anyway, he walks up, you know, the old Terminator, just like in the first movie, he walks up to those punks and, what's wrong with this picture? Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right? Nothing clean, right? And then Bill Paxton, the guy with the blue mohawk, I think this guy's a couple of cans short of a six-pack. You're close. Give them to me now. Fuck you, asshole. Before the fight starts, and then the new Terminator comes up behind him. Let's not be doing that. And then he starts shooting his own self. You know, the old Terminator starts shooting him. And then he grabs that one thing off the, you know, ground, pulls it right off from the ground, that coin-operating telescope thing, and he whaps the old Terminator with it. That was pretty cool, seeing him fight his former self. And then all of a sudden, and a little bit later, here comes a shot from out of nowhere. Then he's all, and sure enough, it's Sarah Connor. And that's where the problem really gets on my nerves. Supposedly, we go way back further. And supposedly in 1973, Schwarzenegger was at Big Bear cabin and saved Sarah Connor. So she started calling him Pops. And I just thought, what the fuck is going on here? Did I miss something here? Where does it say in the story about Schwarzenegger going back in time, the Terminator go back in time to save Sarah Connor? Because when James Cameron made the original movie in 84, I was kind of under the impression that, well, the way Kyle Reese was talking to Sarah about, there was one guy who taught us to smash those motherfuckers in the junk. Connor, Sarah. John Connor, your unborn son, Sarah. He was the leader in our time. He's the leader in the time, and trying to teach her to be more braver than she already is and all that. And supposedly a war happened, and they sent back Schwarzenegger in that movie to kill her so that Connor wouldn't be born. But it never said anything about the Terminator going back to 1973 to save Sarah at Big Bear and become Pops. That's where I drew the line, because that was really all fucked up. It's almost like, we make this shit up as we go along. Well, duh. That's how you make a new movie, I guess, is by making more stuff up. But I just thought that wasn't really interesting because of the series, because of the way James Cameron made it, you know, back in the day. I thought that first movie was awesome. Number 2 was pretty cool too, but something about Genesis just really threw me off in a loop, especially having John Connor be the bad Terminator. I was kind of under the impression from the rumors that I heard in the previews that supposedly Schwarzenegger was going to fight his former self, you know, throughout the entire movie. That would have been more cool than having him be known as Pops. I thought, what the fuck, Pops? Where the fuck is this movie all of a sudden rated PG? Because the first one was rated R, second one was PG-13, and now it's like Terminator PG. That's why I was so upset with that part, because I just thought that was so damn lame. Schwarzenegger, Terminator, now known as Pops. Give me a break. I just wanted to speak my mind about that, because I thought that was the lamest thing I ever heard in the new movie. Pops. Pops my ass. I don't know what the new director was thinking. I wonder if James Cameron had any part of that. I hope not, and I would like to ask him if that was his plan all along, to come up with a new movie like that and have Schwarzenegger end up being the Terminator who saved Sarah Connor back in the day, known as Pops. That was the Terminator Debate. Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back.